Hello there. My name is ALB, and right now you are watching an ASMR video. ASMR videos are much more enjoyable with headphones on, so if you have the option to, I highly recommend putting headphones on right now. You can take a moment and put some in if you can. I don't mind waiting. So, what is an ASMR video? Well, ASMR stands for Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response. But if I was to describe it in words that I actually understand, I would say that ASMR videos are videos that are created with the sole intention of relaxing the viewer and hope to inspire a calm and comforting headspace for the person watching it. They're also kind of like sleep meditation videos. The audio aspect of ASMR videos is usually more important than the visual, but the visual part can be important too. But some people, when they watch ASMR videos, they just close their eyes and listen. And if you want to do that with this, you're totally welcome to. Most ASMR videos are done in a soft-spoken voice, like what I'm doing right now, or they're done in a whisper. And there's lots of videos that feature both as well. Some folks, when they're watching ASMR videos, they experience a feeling of overall comfort and relaxation. And in addition, some people experience a tingling feeling at the back of their neck that goes all the way up the back of their head and to the top of their head. And that is what is commonly referred to in the ASMR community as the tingles. So if you've heard that term before, that's what that means. The ASMR tingles. Not everybody experiences tingles, and you don't need to enjoy ASMR, but some people do. It's kind of like a little phenomenon. ASMR videos are like the opposite of pretty much every other type of media that we consume, because they're really slow paced and really relaxing, but most importantly, you pretty much are guaranteed that there aren't going to be any like sudden jumps or sudden loud noises, which is an aspect I really like about them. So you can put an ASMR video on with trust that that shouldn't happen. The ASMR community on the internet is huge, and it's getting bigger all the time. Think of ASMR as like a genre, and within that genre there's like all these little sub-pockets of like little niche communities. Basically anything you can think of, I can pretty much guarantee there's an ASMR community for it. There's ASMR channels for like cooking, sports, collector items, fashion, makeup, literature, everything, you know. If you like it, you should check out the ASMR community, because there's a good chance that relaxing videos exist. about the thing that you like. So another commonly used term in the ASMR community is tingle triggers. And basically that means any audio or visual action that garners that wonderful ASMR response. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you kind of the top tingle triggers, some of the most highly appreciated ones and the most common ones. And my hope is that through watching this, you'll be able to discover what your favorite tingle triggers might be, and then you'll be able to go forth and seek out videos that feature them. ASMR videos that feature tapping are definitely a favorite of mine. I love the sound of tapping on a phone, but there's so many different types. The sounds that you get from tapping on glass or plastic or wooden objects, they're all so different. Sometimes it can sound like rain or kind of nature sounds. Sometimes you just really like the sound of nails lightly tapping. I'm going to show you to start some wooden objects. And there's lots of different sounds that we can get through different objects, so I'm going to show you some of my favorites. So to start, I want to show you this wooden spoon. You can probably already tell that it has a very different sound than the phone did. It's a very interesting sort of sound. Some objects sound a little bit more hollow than others, but I really like wooden sounds because they're very natural. Oftentimes I'll be cooking or doing some other kind of task, and I'll find myself just tapping on a wooden spoon or spatula, whatever it is I'm using, and I don't even realize that I'm doing it. It's just become a habit for me now because I know that I like that sound. It's a comforting sort of sound to me. And I also have a wooden block here, and because it's hollow on the inside, produces some really interesting sounds. I just found this at a craft store. It makes really nice noises. The more into ASMR that you get, you kind of find yourself like shopping in stores, and you might touch things a little more than you did before because suddenly you become very aware of the amazing sounds that are in the world around you. I know that I've become even more aware than I ever thought possible. I'll be walking around like clothing stores or fabric stores, and I just find myself, touching fabric, seeing what's nice or what makes great sounds. Some people like slow tapping, but other people like really, really fast tapping like this, because it can kind of sound like the rain. So I also have a couple other things, like I have this tiny wooden clipboard. Isn't this so cute? And this clipboard is so tiny. I don't know what you could possibly use this for. Writing tiny, tiny little notes. But I just had to hold on to it. As soon as I found it, I was like, what will I do with this? I don't know, but doesn't it make cool sounds? Isn't that reason enough to hold on to anything? I think so. Especially when you love ASMR, some things make really cool sounds. You never know what you'll use it for. Those are some of my favorite wooden objects. If any of those interested you at all, I would definitely recommend looking up ASMR with wooden objects because they make such natural, gorgeous sounds. Now, interestingly, certain visual movements can give people ASMR all on its own with no audio stimuli at all. And one of those movements is hand movements. A lot of people like watching QVC channel and ASMR videos with hand movements where you are like showing an item and gently talking about it, and the movement of the hands is what some people find very relaxing, especially when you're like lovingly talking about something, maybe something you know a lot about, or if you are like an expert about something, someone talking about anything with like gentle hand movements is a really big tingle trigger. People like beautiful hand movements. It's kind of like a dance, kind of has beautiful flows and ebbs, and especially when you're showing something that you might love and just talking about it. And a lot of people also like hand movements that are specifically towards the camera, towards you, the viewer, where you are being acknowledged and there's gentle hand movements towards you. A lot of people like watching videos with hand movements where there's like almost like a gentle plucking from the screen. It might sound odd, but it's kind of fun to watch that, especially if you're watching like a more roleplay based ASMR where the person on camera is talking directly to you, the viewer, and maybe plucking all your cares away with beautiful hand movements. It's kind of like watching water flow. It's just kind of calming and relaxing to see really simple hand movements like this, especially ones where you, the viewer, are acknowledged. It's nice to be acknowledged. Personally, I do really like the kind of QVC style or shopping channel style ones where you're just talking about any old thing. But you become fascinated when something is held with almost a sort of reverence a very simple item can feel so weirdly precious when it's held with love and care. So, hand movement ones are really popular, and they fascinate me because, like I said, for a lot of folks, you don't even need to be hearing the sounds of someone's voice or the sounds of the object. It's all in the beautiful hand movements. The next tingle trigger that I want to show you focuses on water sounds. So I have this little water spritzer here, and it has water inside of it. You can hear like the little trickling water. It's kind of sloshing around in a comforting way. I think that we really like water sounds for a lot of reasons. And there actually is a lot of science-backed research into how much humans get relaxation from the sound of water. It's kind of one of those things like, that's why people like going to the beach and listening to the waves. And maybe you have a memory of like ever hearing a sort of relaxation tape that has beach sounds with waves. It's like a really nice sound. The sounds of waves gently flowing in and away from the shore at the beach. Rain is a really relaxing sound too. Those little drip drops. One of my favorite ASMR triggers with water is the sound of spritzing, like this. Can do one on this side. I think that the reason that I like this, and maybe a lot of other people too, is because a lot of us, when we got haircuts when we were children, we may have gotten little spritzes on either side of us when our hair is getting trimmed. A lot of ASMR artists will feature spritzing sounds in like hair cutting roleplay ASMR, or like maybe artist painting ones. It's a pretty common tingle-inducing sound that has to do with water. Another one that I'm a big fan of is the sound of dripping, because it sounds like rain, which is so nice. So I have a little stopper here, and I have a little bowl here that's really going to heighten the drip drop sound. And we'll do some on this side. Kind of a delicate sound, but I really like little drip drop sounds. I find the rain to be so relaxing too. Even now, how much I love ASMR has heightened my appreciation for sounds in nature too, like the sound of when I'm on the bus, which might not normally be a relaxing activity, but if there's rain beating against the window, it might start to be a little relaxing to me because you develop kind of a heightened ear for those types of sounds. So that's the added bonus to being an ASMR fan. In general, plastic sounds are great in so many ways, both for tapping on, but also like the crinkly sounds of packaging can be so tingly. But for myself, I've gotta say my all-time favorite plastic sound is the sound of lids gently screwing on containers. I just love that sound, especially when it is on very tiny and precious little skincare containers. When I was a young teen, I definitely would watch like YouTubers who were like beauty gurus, and I would just love the sound of when they were opening up products or closing them, like the slight jostling of the lid. I would just love that, and I didn't know why. This is back before the ASMR community even really existed, let alone was what it is today. But it's just like a very relaxing sound to me. And there's all different types of little jars that can be opened or closed that make really nice noises. They're a very gentle sound, you know. But I really love it. You can almost imagine like that you're in some kind of very fancy spa, and maybe you're getting a facial done or something else like that, and the esthetician would pull out all of these very fancy different types of skincare and carefully open up each one before applying it to your face. So I really like these ones. Another very common trigger is personal attention. So that would be where I'm interacting with you one-on-one, usually up close. And I might touch your face very gently, or, apply makeup on your face. Or I might whisper a secret into your ear very gently. Or maybe in this ear, I'll say something very quietly. And these style of videos are very popular. They're usually under the roleplay category because myself, the ASMR artist, I'm interacting with you one-on-one and talking more directly to you. And like I said, usually doing some sort of task. So maybe it would be like hairstyling ASMR, and I'm brushing your hair or doing your makeup or something like that. And a lot of of us really like these kinds of ASMR videos because they can harken back to positive memories that you might have with somebody, maybe from your childhood. Maybe it could be like having a parent comfort you or cheer you on and say, like, did you have a good day today? I'm so glad. It's great to see you. Or you might have like childhood memories of being with your friends and, just telling secrets and things like that, especially like whispering something in your ear. Like, I think you're fantastic. You are so, so cool. So stuff like that is really popular, and you can totally see why. It feels like you're very special and very loved, and that sort of feeling would make any of us feel really relaxed. I know for myself, videos with like up close attention and lots of like face touching or things like that, and maybe up close whispering, those put me right to sleep. I really love those. So that's a really popular one. You might like that too. So the last trigger that I'm going to be showing you today is another one of my favorites. It's page turning and writing on paper with a ballpoint pen. This is a really popular ASMR trigger, and it's featured in so many different types of videos, but personally my favorite kind is in a roleplay style format, when someone is asking you questions and taking notes about what your answers might be. So like some common examples of this would be a ASMR roleplay that's like the beginning of a doctor's appointment, when they're asking you questions and paying a lot of attention to you and, writing things down. Or, when you go for a massage and they ask you questions at the beginning. There are even lots of ASMR videos that are kind of around the idea that there is no appointment. You're just there to answer a survey and someone will write down your answers. Page turning itself is like a really great ASMR sound, but I really like it when it's these kind of like spiral bound notebooks that a lot of us had as kids. The paper in these is always like really thin, and I don't know, it kind of does that thing for me where it hits the nostalgia and the sound of the ballpoint pen combined with the paper. I just love it. So if you don't mind, I think I'd really like to ask you a couple of really important questions about our video today. I just need to get a little bit of information from you. If you don't mind, thank you so much for your patience. Let's see. Okay, perfect. No, this is the right page. This is good. Okay, so my first question is, did you find that you were able to kind of figure out some ASMR triggers that you enjoyed today? Okay. A couple, that's great. And before this video, did you know about ASMR or? Oh, you did? Okay. Yeah, just give me 1 second to write this down. Okay. Great. And my final question. Do you think that you are going to go listen to some more ASMR videos in the future? Oh, that's great news. You can check all these boxes. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for checking out this video and learning a little bit more about ASMR and wonderful sounds that are all around us that you can find and enjoy in an ASMR video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.